Welcome everybody back to another day of 7 Days to Die with Theo and Pesh.
Hello, everybody.
So, we've got Alpha 13. What do you think?
I think there's some good things and a lot of bad things in it at the moment.
Yeah, there are a lot of changes. And just this video, Pesh and I really want to take a look at our first impressions of the game.
Well, some of the noticeable things that I missed is like I want the clock back and not being put on the map interface, so you don't have to keep opening your menu to see what time it is as well.
Absolutely. Maybe even if they just give us a wristwatch so we can put one on. I wouldn't even mind about that.
And another thing I missed was also the food and health bars. Once again, I don't really want to open a menu up just to find out
If I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't mind that so much, but the clock is a real important thing to me. And, yeah, yay, look outside, look at the sun, it's bright.
Well, you're supposed to be able to hear crickets chirping at night, but, I mean, that can be easily missed as well. And I can do without having, the stamina and some of the other bars missing. But not the time, because you calculate how far you run from place to place as well.
In general, it's just good information to know. Now, what I really like so far is the skill systems. I like that they're encouraging cooperative play, and I really enjoy that they're encouraging you to develop your character independently. There's specialization there, and I think it's a really good step.
I like that too, but in order to get to that point, and let's just ask Theo how many axes he had to craft to even get that little stone axe worth, using.
Yeah, well, that's something that needs to be addressed. In the crafting system, I think there are a number of really good improvements. However, when you're actually building something and actually trying to improve your scores in some of those abilities, there needs to be something that you can do that's going to increase them without destroying your inventory. Like for the construction tools, I have so far in my game crafted about 500 to 600 stone axes.
I think
that's a lot.
Well, that's a lot of trees to actually do that as well, and that's one of the most annoying things I find in this game, is that it takes you so long to craft just the basic things, and that's all you're doing in the first day is just like...
It takes you 2 hours before you can actually you can cut down a tree in a reasonable rate of time, and that is a little much.
But it's just, I think it's crazy. Like, you see a tree that's like 1,000, HP, and I'm like, no, I'm not cutting that one down. Let's go for a 251.
And the thing is, there's a interesting disparity in the different craftings and the different resources. Now, you can go to 2 trees that look exactly the same. You can swing and do the exact same amount of damage on either tree. One tree will give you 3 to 4 wood per swing, and the other tree will give you 10 plus per swing. Now, when you're swinging, there are 2 different ways to look at it. When you hit it, and you hit it twice in succession, the numbers add up together, and they just sort of fill in. So you have to be really careful to see which number is, the right number there. But some trees, like I said, the same looking tree, exact same looking tree, they're right next to each other. You hit one and you hit it twice and it'll be 5, 6. And then you go up and hit the other one and it'll be 9, 10. And that really just makes me scratch my head.
Well, there's obviously a lot of things that need to be tweaked, and the menu needs to be adjusted as well.
I hate how long you have to hold down the click to pull something or drag it.
There's still something wrong with that, because some items seem okay to click. It feels like I'm dragging the items, like through mud.
Yeah, some of them feels like you're dragging it through molasses.
I also like the auto pickup, but then also too, I don't like the auto pickup. So like when I was harvesting a car, right?
Uh-huh.
um, and my inventory was pretty full, and I was like, and then stuff was just dropping. I'm like, oh my god! I throw away a glass jar to try and pick up this blue battery, and it's like,
And you pick
no.
right back up the glass
Yeah,
jar.
I had to actually walk away, drop this stupid glass jar so I could, and I'm like, please be there, Mr. Blue Battery, but yeah, it's good. It's like a double-edged sword, that thing. But you came up with a good thing as well, like, should have a delete icon, like when you're
Yep,
crafting,
like a
like,
trash can. You click it, and then everything you click until you right click will just delete. That would be fantastic.
well, also the right click would be, I like delete. I like the right click in there too. So, like I was just thinking, what a good for this UI. It reminds me like of Windows 8. Who thought of this UI that would be, absolutely wonderful? There's some good things in there, but there's also some bad things as well.
Windows 8 trash. Oh, sorry. Anyhow, no, I really like upgrading the buildings, and it just feels more natural doing it that way. I tried the Forge out, and I love how you input stuff into the Forge and then you just make it out of the stored materials. Now, I have noticed, and I'm sure all of you have as well, that your building skill, your building tool skill, will go up much faster when you're upgrading than when you're harvesting materials. So, easiest thing to do to level up your building skill is to build stuff or upgrade stuff. So the wood, once you have, Pash is gonna hate me for this, but after day 1 my skill is 80 in building materials, and after you have that level of skill and you're actually building an axe that's yellow or green at least, you will be harvesting wood at a phenomenal rate. You will take your building skill and you will get it to 100 very quickly.
But you got to think of it as this as well, Theo. Is like if you're a new or casual player, and the first thing is like you want to just go out and craft a few things and kill some zombies. The way it is at the moment is just like no, you need to spend hours chopping down
Working on the
trees.
fundamentals.
Yeah, and no one wants to do that, and it's boring as shit, really.
I completely agree, and here's my idea for the admins. The zombie difficulty needs to be variable. When we start, zombies need to be easier to kill. For the first 7 days, you can make their strength go up every week, and I'm fine with that. Now you might say you can do that on the settings, but that really feels like cheating. I'd much rather see, say, the plague spreading and the zombies getting stronger as you play. Now, one of the other problems I have right now is core temperature and gear spaces. Now, they did increase the amount of storage that we get out of every box, which is a plus.
Yeah,
However,
but you can't even craft, like, I like those boxes, the medical boxes and all that. Now they need nails and some other item, I believe, 10 nails and wood, and I think might be something else as well to craft them. And they gave us those secure wood storage chests, but it's like it's all a big jumble of stuff. I mean, it wasn't even necessary to change those boxes needing nails, which means you have to, make them in the forge.
it is a convenience though, and making us pay for conveniences is keeping us playing. But like I said, I really would like to see the zombies easier to deal with when you first start the game, as in physically taking more damage, having less health, something of that nature. One of the things that I really do like, however, is that they put the potassium nitrate piles on the surface. We will again be able to use firearms, and that will affect things significantly. Unfortunately, you can't make bullets very quickly until you get all the right books and whatever. So that's not going to help the person who's just starting out. So they've kind of made it so you have a natural series of progression, but the stuff that they have at the beginning is the really boring stuff. And how are you going to bring people into the game that way?
Well, not with making 1,000 bloody axes and, hammering stuff.
Yeah, first day I collect the first, I'm sorry, when I say day, and the first 8 hours that I played this game, I have chopped down and collected approximately 10,000 plus wood, crafted over 600 hammer, or just axes, and okay, my character can, build stuff and gather stuff really well now, but, huh.
Yeah. Well, Theo did all that because my hand actually gave out after, just holding the, left click down, chop, chop,
And
chop,
that's
chop.
the other thing. Even if you've got nice, strong wrists, that's a lot to ask about after ask of somebody when they're using their hands so much.
Mm.
It really will. You'll find yourself gripping the mouse too tight, and your wrist will be hurting. That's not fun.
Some other things too, like, the little things that are incorrect are the play characters, how they, when I view your character, it looks, in a strange animation. You have like textures tearing on your clothes as well. And when we
And your character's vibrating like she's had 20 cups of coffee and she can't sit still.
well, I know what I told you what yours look like, but I'm not saying that here.
Well, it's not as bad as the sounds your character was making right at the
Oh
beginning.
gosh! And before they put that, the first patch out, this chick was like, oh, I keep doing that because that just sounds wrong. And she was doing it over and over, and I'm like, okay, you run, Theo. What's your character? I don't hear your character saying nothing. Like, like mine. Yeah, they said she sounded like the female characters did sound like a porno star, but they've toned that down pretty much straight up. She was annoying as well, seriously.
It needed some help. Now, something that really has pleased me is the skill for gathering, and it's a lot of fun. You open a box, you get junk. But as you keep opening boxes, you start opening boxes faster, and suddenly you're not getting junk anymore. I think it was a phenomenal addition.
That is good as well, but you still got to consider the mouse movement. There's too much mouse movement for everything in the UI, which, if you're playing like for an hour, that's fine, but if you're playing hours and hours, you don't want to put that bandage on straight away, right click, you don't want to move the mouse up into the inventory and use. And I don't like how the recipe when you cook stuff, that needs to be tuned up a bit as well.
I think overall we're spending too much time in the menus.
Yeah. The opacity is nice too, which I like, and I wished in 12.5 the original inventory had you could have a slider for that, because half the time you couldn't see the zombies coming while you're in that menu. And talking about those zombies, I think they fixed some of those animations up, but like when they decapitate, they're supposed to like fall down, like or they die standing up, or I die standing up. They said they were supposed to have new death animations for the player as well, and that hasn't been implemented.
It also seems like there is a significantly higher resource consumption in this particular patch. It hasn't been optimized yet, and I know that my latency can drop really quick if, for instance, Patch is picking a lot of blueberries or corn.
Well, as I said, I see this as a Windows 8 edition of the 7 Days to Die. They need a blending to make it look like Windows, 10, which has, the functions of both 7 and 8. So this is what they need to do, I think, like have a bit of previous look from Alpha 12 and Alpha 13, because some of the things are good ideas, but they're not visually they're good, but not, in some cases, not practical.
Now, one of the things that's really irking me is the temperature range. Now, I understand that they have to do something to vary the environments a bit, but I'm sorry. if just wearing a hat is making your temperature go up, there's something wrong with the game. And if you're wearing a warm hat in the temperate zone and running, you instantly start getting hot. Now, the core temperatures that they've put on there are pretty ridiculous as well. The natural human body temperature, we're always in the mid 90s to 98. And if it goes past that, if your core temperature goes beyond that, then you're going to be dead really quick. And when they're saying that we've got a core temperature of 60 or a core temperature of 115, your brain would be cooked.
But anyway, that's all we have for you today, and hopefully you like a quick little look at Alpha 13.1, and if you like what you see, like and subscribe, and we'll see you later, guys.
Passion Vio, signing off.